the top of the hour. And I am using a brand new computer, to me at least, from that I purchased yesterday. And I'll move my camera over toward it for a second. That's my microphone. It is a HP. I'm not promoting this. Obviously, HP doesn't pay me anything. Laptop. I got a bigger screen. This is the first time I've had a 16-inch screen for a year or so. Whoa, why does that look a little blurry from my webcam? I think it was just the way that it was when it goes that way, the screen's bouncing off the front of the webcam. Anyway, so Mark and I got on a little early for able to talk about a number of things and to make sure that my computer was working well. It appears that I've got good volume. Put some ones in the chat if you can hear me all right and can see me. All I've got up right now is my webcam, and looks like Mark has put some ones in, so he's obviously seeing things fine. This is our regular Talk with Wayne session that we do every Thursday. And I'm going to just check and see, and I'm going to add the attendees on my screen so I can see who's on. And gosh, we got note takers. We got our two otters, Mark, that are always out there. Now, why?
Yeah.
Notice how it's just this camera, if it goes the wrong direction, on the right side of the screen, it's a little blurry,
Hmm.
like right there. So if my
Yes, I see it.
is there, you see how
Yeah,
the,
it blurs a
the
little bit.
image is blurred, but when it gets there, I
Yeah,
think
in the middle
it's the angle of the webcam.
should be, yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, we are excited to be here with everybody. Lots of topics, some of them not so positive to talk about today. Um, I'm going to talk about my health a little bit. And one of the reasons is because it's really obvious as you sit and look at me here. I'm wearing these big old ugly glasses. I'll take them off. I can take them off for a second. And a hat, because I think, as I've said, 2.5 weeks ago, I had cataract surgery on this eye and had a new lens, artificial lens put in. So I'm now seeing through an artificial lens on my left and right eye. So a week later, I had the right one put in. And they are what are called light activated lenses, LALs. And one of our attendees that's here, I'm sure, will do a little research for us and maybe tell us a little bit and put some sources in to tell us about LALs. They are the most modern, that I'm aware of at least, type of lens for artificial lens. And let me back up a step just so a little bit of dialogue about cataracts. Cataracts are essentially defects that occur on the surface of your eyes or an eye. And they ultimately end up getting bad enough that they can dramatically change your vision. And they happen very slowly over, a period of years. And the first thing a lot of people lose is the ability to distinguish and see the difference between colors. So right up behind me, there is a yellow ribbon next to a blue ribbon, next to a red ribbon, a white ribbon, and a green back over my head. And I can see those vividly right now because I have brand new lenses with artificially. But even before, I hadn't lost that. I was still able to see colors. What I had lost, and I didn't even realize it, this has been got real subtle, was everything was looking like it was being seen in a smoke storm. Um, and what that means is that as I was viewing through my eyes, I wasn't noticing it, but it looked somewhat foggy, a little bit like this webcam did when we did that. So now notice that my face looks a little foggy. I move over even to there, and the fog's gone away. And I get over here and it's gone entirely. Well, that's a good example of what had happened to my vision. I was seeing kind of a foggy existence like this. And that's because what happens with a cataract is it's um, a um, covering, a blockage, very thin, very fine over the lens that's on your eye. And in my case, I am naturally, without correction, blind, have very poor vision, very poor distance vision. By the way, I have to put these back on. I'm going to do that. I don't like them at all, but I have to wear them because this light activated lens, next week, I'll be going into the eye doctor and they will put some very quick bursts of ultraviolet light into my eyes, and then they'll check my vision where they have me look at a screen and see how I could see images, letters on a screen, like you've all done. Anybody's ever had an eye examination have had this done, and and they'll ask me, can I read this row and can I read this row and so on, smaller and smaller and smaller. And over a period of about 3 weeks, I'll go back into the eye doctor several times because they'll do additional of these bursts and keep tweaking my vision to get it just to where I want it, to where my eye doctor says I will have 20, what do they say? When you have really perfect, what is very good, not perfect, but as good as you
2020.
2020, all right?
Yep.
Well, that's not what he told me I'm going to have. Instead, he said, you're going to have 20 happy, which means it'll be whatever I want it to be. And honestly, what I'm going to want it to be is to be probably 2010, maybe, so even better in one eye. And then maybe 2040, a little different correction in the other eye, so that I won't have to wear, grab something that's up in front of me here, glasses like these, which are called by various different names, but the most often they're called either cheaters, and people will wear them way down here, like below their eyes. So if you look through these, they are meant to help you read. Because when you have a correction that is for a long distance, you may not be perfectly corrected close to you. And a lot of people as they age have that happen. And even Mark's getting close to old enough to where
Yeah.
you started to have to use some kind of cheaters or anything when you read something, when something's,
Yeah.
inches away, like your phone might be. Um,
Right. Yeah, I
so,
see everything small now, so I'll need reading glasses.
right. And here's, if I can still read very clear from this distance. You can kind of see that it's probably about 30 inches or so away. And I can see clear still at this distance, probably 20, 2 feet away. Now I'm about 18 inches, it's still clear. But when I get here, which is about where I'd probably hold the phone a lot of times, I do not see clear. It starts to get blurry. I don't see as clearly. That's where I would wear the cheaters or the um, reading glasses. And I'd look down. Now I can see that very clearly, 6 inches from my face. And I can look over cheaters this way and see clearly above them. So some people have progressive glasses that allow them to do that, and then some have little small magnifying glasses, really, because that's what cheaters are, below where their eyes are. So most of the time when I'm outside, I wear instead to keep the ultraviolet rays out, because it's the ultraviolet when they do these bursts that are going to change my vision to where I want it to be, that they use. Most of the time I look cool though, and I wear my shades, but I don't think that's going to look too cool doing this call, so I probably won't leave those on. But notice they're right up next to my face, all around the edge of my eye, because the intent is to keep the ultraviolet rays out. I don't have to keep them out all the time, but I can't have my eyes exposed to ultraviolet rays for very long. Or what it'll do is it'll cause the lenses, the artificial lenses, to what they call lock in to a certain place. Then they won't be able to change them at all over the next several weeks to where I can have that 20 happy vision that we talked about. So anyway, that all is in the process of being done. So I have to wear these very weird glasses. But 2 weeks from now or so, you won't see me probably wearing glasses at all, because I would not wear them to see this screen and to do webinars and frankly, to do anything other than reading that far away. And they may even be able to correct my vision to be able to do that. So just a little bit of a description that could be useful and help from a number of you. Well, Mark, I had a very cool call this morning with William Horvath, who says to say hello to Mark.
Yeah. Okay.
And to Arib, but he had been saying hi to Arib because Arib's the one that set up our call. And William's going to come on with us again sometime here in the next couple months and do a webinar where the two of us will just chat. We'll have an interview situation, because he is the one who did one of our very first series that we had done that we have not yet made into a class. We haven't done anything with his sessions, have we, Mark? Why don't you
No.
pull up the EAT site, pull
Yeah.
up the EAT free, because I don't know that we've shown people some of the little bit of tweaks we've done with it. We're going to be tweaking even more because it's been the same way for 9 years now. Not a lot of changes. And we're going to do some things just to make it look. So Mark's going to show the screen here in just a second. I'm clicking on OK on agreeing to the to being recorded. By the way, thank you people from the audience, because we've had some pretty cool chat comments already, all related to a topic that Mark and I both know is a passion for our membership, which is, wow, you get that turned that way and that blurriness really comes into play. I don't know why. I wonder if it's something on the lens itself. I'm gonna wipe it with my shirt here a little.
Yeah, I'm pulling up it free.
And then take it to the table of contents and show Williams webinars.
Yeah.
So notice we've changed the way you look and see the dashboard on the dashboard. All the table of contents and everything is in both the center of the screen and on the left. So you can actually go to places by clicking on the left. Wow, so we did 14, it looks like, with William.
Yeah, so this is the first one. I think we have only 2 of his live on it free. 2 of these.
Right.
No, only one.
But
Yeah.
you can show on the table of contents over there how many we did.
Yes. Go back to table of contents. I can show you that. With William. Okay. Right here. So Yeah, we did quite a few, like
14.
yeah, 14 of them.
So that's 14 minimally hours, because usually when we go with questions and answers, we'd go longer than an hour. Go to his 14th one and let's see how long we actually stayed on. You may
Yeah,
not be
but
able
this
to look it up. You
may
won't
not
be
be able to see it. Yeah. So let's see. Oh, okay. So this is 1 hour,
in 7 minutes.
yes.
Go near the end of it and let's just see how long, how many questions we took. Let's go
Take
back.
together, and probably a month from now or so, there'll be something that'll be available for that. And
Is the audio coming
Yeah,
through?
it's fine. Yeah, it's coming through great. That sounded great.
Okay.
um, so that's one way you can get all of these. You can tell others about them. And you can, I think I did, while the webinar was going on, I actually did make everybody that's registered recently a member of the Economic Action Team, so you'll have login instructions probably when you look in your email, and you can get in. And Mark, I want you to say something. You've been really quiet here.
Yeah, this has been an amazing series by William. I really enjoyed this. And
Thanks, Mark.
I hope you come back soon, William.
Yeah, well, I have to be busy on my farm to generate the practical info that I can teach them.
Awesome.
Well, we're going to be hoping and praying that you find that other site you're looking at nearer to your home, and so now you'll have more of that also. I know Mark's going to get over there again in the fall, and I hope that we can get your way sometime. And you know that you're welcome here anytime you could possibly be here. So we appreciate that.
Thank you very much. This was thank you very much.
Well, let's
Yeah,
stop.
yeah.
Let's see. I think you have the dates. Go back to the table of contents. Let's see when I couldn't remember if he was in 2000. Yeah, 17. So that one was in May of 2017. We started EAT June 6, 2016. So, William would have been 14 sessions prior. And I don't know that he went every week. We might have skipped a week here and there. Go back to the table of contents, Mark, so we can just see if he
No,
did.
he did every other week. So William would do 1 week, and then he would do 1 week. So he did every other week, and he did every other week.
Oh, okay. Well, we're going to have another talk with Hugh coming up soon,
Yes.
and we're going to have another talk with William. Well, one of the things that has happened in William's life is he has had a son who he said he thought he remembered was just a baby when we started this, and when we were doing the webinars with him. Go to the table of contents, though, Mark. I want to see dates. So when did we start with him? We were doing it every other week. 14 weeks would be a long time. So, 28 weeks even. See if when you click on the first one.
Yeah, I'll see the first one.
What date?
When was it? Yes. So this one doesn't have a date. Okay, so we didn't start putting dates on.
Yeah, but I read something up there. It said, look at this. This is the start of probably a 30-week adventure. So,
and this is you, right? So everything you wrote here. Back then we didn't use AI or anything else.
no.
And I recognize, see, you have a unique style. So I have a different style. So I know that this is the way you write.
Oh, everybody, that's pretty cool. William, so he's now doing, so his site, let's go to his site, Mark, it's permacultureapprentice.com. It's pretty easy to find.
Yeah, I got this. I think this is the one. Yeah.
Yeah, it's his home side. And he's in Croatia. We haven't said that, just so
Yes, he's in
that
Croatia.
you would know. And he works all over Eastern Europe. And we talked a little bit about how there's still some difficulties in that part of the world, very close to Ukraine, very close to Russia, very close to different things.
Is the war still going on, Ukraine and Russia?
Oh, yes. Yeah. Yeah. You don't hear about that much in your country, Mark?
Yeah, I heard, but I thought it was over.
No, no, no. They're hoping to make it. Anyway, this is William Sight, permaculture apprentice. He's now doing more, and I see Alicia's back in Clover, Virginia. It's good to have her on. And she travels all over, so we'll see her in Minnesota sometimes, and wherever. Last week, I think maybe it was even Minnesota. And actually, it wasn't last week because I didn't do one last week. It was one of those weeks where I was at another event and we did a replay. But anyway, here's William's site. We're going to interview William sometime in the next couple months, and we're going to turn his series, those 14 weeks, into a course, which will let you guys, get connected to, and just because you've been here and you're part of our community. I actually see some new names, and so if you're new or even have been here a little bit, put a 1 in the chat. Just put a 1 in, and maybe if you're going to be willing, unmute yourself. We'll let you come on and we can chat with you. And Mark will kind of control that. But as I have a couple other topics, and might as well get to the negative one right away. We've had a couple of fairly negative events occur in the United States in the last 24 hours. And a little more than that now. Yeah, just a little bit more than that. About 25 hours ago was a horrible shooting. By the way, look and see who the supporters there are, Mark. Go back to that site real quickly because you scrolled past it really fast. You missed something there. That was kind of cool. Because we really kind of started William out. William is the perfect kind of speaker. It's up higher. It's up further on his there. Seed. That's us. And so he's talking about where he's been featured. Rad is Mark Shepard, who we're obviously is one of our huge speakers and teachers. And then Perma Ethos, we've had speakers from there, and we've had speakers from the Permaculture Research Institute. So those are places that William's been featured. Anyway, so I just wanted to quickly show that. But anyway, the two pretty negative things that happened this week, and one of them, or yesterday, is the horrible shooting of Charlie Kirk in Utah. And Charlie Kirk is a young American who was dedicated to peaceful living. And here, Mark's showing a special report update, and that's Charlie there. That's not what he was wearing the day that he spoke yesterday. He was actually very casual yesterday, had a t-shirt on and with a college audience, and that's what his audience is. So Charlie Kirk was 31 when he was killed, very young man. But since he was 18, so for 13 years, he'd been speaking all over the country about peace and love and understanding. And he doesn't have long hair under his shoulders or anything, which is what when I was his age, I had, and a lot of other people that were maybe somewhat activist, like Charlie would have been considered, had. Maybe we were protesting to a certain extent. Maybe we were intentionally trying to be different. His way of being different was just by his kindness and his love and and the care that he showed. as he spoke. So if you haven't heard of him, if you're not from the United States, maybe you haven't even heard the name. There's a lot written out there about him, and he was the founder of this group called Turning Point USA. And again, he was killed yesterday at this college, Utah Valley University, which isn't very far from me, by the way, here in the US. The second thing occurred. So look up, Mark, just do a search quickly of the Evergreen High School shootings. There was another set of shootings or a shooter, and I think they might have caught this person. I'm not though sure of this because it was not just a targeted assassination. By the way, Charlie Kirk was killed with one shot, probably a high-powered rifle from probably a rooftop. They even believe they have images, photos of the shooter. And there we go, Evergreen High School shooting. But what we know about it, click on that one. Oh, there were 2 dead. I thought that maybe it had just been injured, but click on any one of those articles. The Denver Post, that's a major newspaper in Denver, the primary newspaper. The suspect's dead in that shooting, so they obviously he was somehow either killed himself or apprehended. Scroll down. Let's just look quickly. I don't remember whether he killed himself or I don't know anything about this one. 16-year-old boy was the shooter. So 3 people dead. Yeah, he killed himself. So you can see that in that first paragraph. I don't know whether that's him there. No, that's a spokesperson. I actually don't think they would show a picture of him because he's under 18 and they'd have to
Okay.
go through a process before they can probably show an image of him. So anyway, that was a horrible event that also occurred yesterday. And on a positive note, another thing that occurred with me, and I think I'll be able to show some of this, is in the last week, and I haven't even really talked much to Mark about this, I've identified and then went to visit the day before yesterday, so 2 days ago, a site less than an hour drive from my house. And you know what? I will take the screen and I'll show you some things for that. So, but Mark, why don't you? Oh, I don't have to do anything. I can do just share. So take this screen and share it. So you should probably be seeing my Zoom page, correct?
Yes, we're seeing Zoom.
Now I'm going to switch and I'm going to look something up. I'm going to actually put a Google map in here. So I'll scroll out here. Right now, this webinar is being done from right there, right where that heart is. There's my home office. This was taken not that long ago because those are roots of a big tree that used to be right here. Oops, went away. Would be right in the middle of where this U-shaped driveway is. But we had an ice storm earlier this year, and this 50-year-old tree split right down the middle. And right now, if you went out in this particular area, you wouldn't see these 2 big stump pieces. There's a pretty big sized rock right there that you would, and then there's grass behind it. But we're going to be putting a little pond with a waterfall, water feature and such right here. Anyway, that's me. That's where I live. I'm going to scroll out. And we've talked a lot about a site that we're doing some things with that's north of us here, going this way. And as I scroll out, we're going to get to, we'll look at that site first. So here's where I am. And up here, not nearly as far as this looks. I'm not, again, I'll scroll back down to get right here outside of Riggins and right about here. No, actually right there is Riggins Hot Springs, which is a site that we've now been managing and leasing and using and learning about culinomic things at since 1st of November last year. However, it doesn't look like we're going to continue with it. A lot of reasons, but I won't give those right now. But I've been looking for about 3 weeks for another site and have found one much, much closer. So here's the Riggins site up here. And this is the way we drive to get to it, either this way or this way. Either way, this is mountains all through here. This is a valley area. This is farmland all the way through here. And I'll go to a satellite image in a minute. I want to show down to this other site first. But here's us, and this site is right about here. I'm going to go down to the satellite image so you can see it. It's 5 miles from the Oregon border on this major highway, which is called 95. And near this little town, it's actually a Marsing address. This is the Snake River, which is the border of Idaho and another state and Oregon and also Washington farther north. But this site is right down here, so we're going to zoom in. And it's actually very near this little place, Rockville. That's the Idaho-Oregon border in this picture right here. And as we get closer, you're going to see a little road coming off this way. That's on, here it is, right there. This is called McBride Creek Road. This is McBride Creek right here. And I'm going to switch to satellite. And this image was probably taken with a little TELUS. It just shows 2025. I think we have to look at like Google Earth, which maybe I'll go to that in a minute to see exactly what day it was taken. It just says that it's from 2025. But I almost can guarantee you, because of this being as green as it is here, that it was in the spring sometime. But you can see this is 1,000 feet right here, this little line. So 1,000 feet is about from, I'll pull this a little farther up. This is about 1,000 feet. So that's a 1/5 of a mile from there to there. So this site starts 2 miles up, about right here. So I'm going to focus in on that. Site actually starts right there. That's a fence line that is right. There's actually another fence here, but it's right here is the border of the property. Property is an L, and it goes up this way, and it goes past this creek right here. And then over this way. And then it comes back down somewhere maybe about here. And it goes back across, the road goes into it like this. And then forms the L coming down to right here. And includes over here, here, and up here. I only point that out because these are hills, not steep ones, very easily developed. This is a creek that runs, that's called McBride Creek. Then this is Dead Horse Creek right over here. I don't know the name of this one. But you can see that it's a typical windy, not a whole lot of gradient, which means it doesn't go down that far. I bet the end of the creek at the end of the property down here, which is about right here, probably only, the creek goes all the way through the middle of the property over this direction. It's probably only 100 feet elevation loss, maybe not even that. Maybe it's 50 feet from here going all the way down. Now, even when this picture was taken, this is a crossing of this little road here over the creek. Notice there's no bridge there, and there's no water flowing through this. There is water right there. That's the sun shining off of a water glint, or a reflection. Here's water right here, but this stream is not year round. It is only got water in it probably about 7 months of the year, and it's dry right now. So we put under an offer in yesterday, about this time yesterday, to buy this property. And this is going to be Mountain Sky Ranch, Idaho, because I'll pull up in just a second off of Zillow and show you some now also drone view pictures, but a little bit more of what the terrain looks like around this. And these are larger plants here. There's a lot of water here, a lot more than it looks like. It's just under the ground. And that's what happens with streams. They will try to escape evaporation. So they go underground. These rocks over here, right here, that rock, you can see the shadow. That's not all the rock. This is the rock, that's a shadow there. That is, you can see 50 feet down here. That's about 15 feet across, but that's a 30-foot tall lava rock. And notice the color, it's a purplish kind of a color. Mark, let me know if anybody ever has any questions here. So.
Yeah, I'm looking at questions.
And we are truly the middle of nowhere here. So I'm going to scroll out more now and show you how far we are from any really other people even. There is one resident right on the highway here, right there. So there's a series of buildings. If we come here and zoom down, and you'll see right here, that's a farm place. If we get this place, our mailbox is right here out on the road. This is a wet, not underwater. There's a reservoir right over there, by the way, and with a creek going out of it, and then crossing. And in this direction, and again, the flow is this way, so we're going downstream. But let's keep zooming out. So one set of human beings there. Oregon-Idaho border. We're finally now starting to get some other places where humans would be. Down here, this along the Snake River, this is ag land, so there would be farms and all kinds, still not cities, no towns really. The nearest town is Marsing, which is right here. And Marsing is 1,000 people. But then remember, I live right there. So it's less than an hour drive. Come over and through, you can't go through this reservoir. This is a big lake reservoir right here. But you can go around it and then down 95. And then the site is right in here. There is another city down in Oregon called Jordan Valley. And I'm guessing Jordan Valley is about the same distance away as Marsing is. So here to Marsing, here. Now Jordan Valley is probably a little closer. So Jordan Valley is probably 12 miles. Here's some pictures of it, of the Jordan Valley area. That's Highway 95, I'm sure. Sky, a store, winter, somebody's vehicle, Jordan Valley. Power lines, winter. That's the last of those pictures. I don't think there are any others along here. Marsing. Oh, I didn't mean to go that close. Anyway, lot more things in Marsing. So, all right, now let's back up again and let's go to Zillow. Zillow is a real estate site here in the United States.